Russian Airbnbs. So Russian Airbnbs are a great way to go if you want to save money versus staying in hotels and be very comfortable. I don't think they're worth doing a night at a time. Maybe they are, and you can look at that. I did mine 2 to 3 nights or longer when I was in Moscow. So I've stayed at them in Moscow and now in Vladivostok. And I think I stayed in one other city in the middle a couple days, but they've all been the same. So I wanted to show you what they have. So in the old days, under the Soviet regime, they would build a building like this. And you'll note that if you look up there, you'll see they have these sunrooms bolted onto them. And I think some of them probably used to be balconies, but they've all been turned into sunrooms. And this is the one I'm staying in here. And it's got its own sunroom, where you see the lights, that's the sunroom of the one that I'm in. And the newer apartments are pretty big. The older Soviet style, I've been in some ones that are really pretty small. So you can find that out, just ask them square footage, it's easy to see. And the new ones, which I have not been in, but here's a good example of a high-rise apartment. And you'll see it conforms to the same basic architecture, where they've got the sunroom to give the light. Some of them now, it looks like they've got balconies, and I'm sure those are much more modern, so what you're gonna see in the video is probably not reflective of those. I'm sure they don't have all the security doors that you're gonna see here. But that's what the new ones look like, and they're quite nice. And obviously, these older buildings are being replaced, and as time goes on, I'm sure they'll be a thing of the past. So good to see why you stuck in. But I've quite enjoyed them, and they've been nice. And you'll see what this one looks like. The guy did a great job on it. So this is probably not nearly as old as this other one. Looks like they've done some either remodeled or it's just a flat newer building, but this is very typical. So when you walk up to these, they're in blocks of maybe 20 rooms, and you'll see looking down there's a bunch of these bridges with a big metal door. And these metal door are probably, I don't know, they're probably 16 thick plate steel with probably, I don't know, 1/8 thick steel angle iron. They probably weigh a good couple hundred pounds. So you see one of those. They obviously used to lock these, they don't anymore. When you walk through that, you're gonna see a little control panel, and it's just got a little access point. All of them use this, and you just go boom. It opens another big, thick steel door, which is quite heavy. Same design basically, but it's a big steel door with this one locks. And then you're gonna walk into something like a hallway. They're usually pretty dingy. Sometimes there's elevators, sometimes there's not. This one doesn't have an elevator, so on the second floor, not too bad. And then basically, when you get to the apartment, a lot of them have these little sort of antechambers where they've got a big metal grate and you can walk in, or some sort of an entry area that's also secured by a big metal door. So now you've gone through 3 big metal doors, and then you hit the front door. And the front door is just, let me open this up a little bit to get some light. The front door is a double steel door, gotta weigh at least 300 pounds. And typically they have this one's got 3 locks on it. So, very clearly at some point, someone was real worried about somebody in your apartment, because you've now gone through, maybe a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of steel, 3 or 4 locks, some electronic security. And then you get inside and this usually is the front door, this big thing. In this case, the guy has that, and then he has a very nice, sort of looking normal door there. I personally think I would have taken that off, but once you get inside, they're quite nice. And so this guy did the whole interior with composite flooring. Looks like he did a great job. Everything fits. And you'll typically see stuff like this, like where the bathroom is stepped up. And then in the shower, they use these sort of plug-in shower enclosures. They're always raised. That's not what we would typically do. I'm sure in the new ones they fix that, I would hope. But when you step out of that, you're taking a big giant step, because you're coming out of the enclosure, and then they've got it raised up another 6 to 8 inches off the floor, and you've got to negotiate that. And if your ankle's broken, that's harder, but it is what it is. So hot water is usually provided by these electric water heaters. I've had no problem with them. Water's been blazing hot as you want. All of them have these heated towel racks for obvious reasons. They're in a very cold winter situation. And they all have a toilet and a bidet. Some of the ones that are older, you can actually see the plumbing. They run PVC outside of the enclosures, but this guy's done a good job with this. Probably he had the room, had he wanted to, he probably could have enclosed this, and I'm sure some of the newer places I'm sure have that completely enclosed. In fact, I was in one where that was completely hidden. I should have got a video of that. And then you'll always get a washer. There's never a dryer that I've been in one, but they have these drying racks that work quite well, and I've used those. So kitchens, very functional. Usually the ones I've been in, the last one was great. It was really decorated nicely. This one's pretty good. Refrigerator, you got an electric stove. Some of them are induction stoves and some quite nice. This guy's got it fairly simple, utilitarian, and I like this. It's just, your basic working kitchen. He's got a nice little window here. He's got bars on it. That's a little unusual, but he's on the ground floor basically at that window. And then you're gonna get a bedroom, and the bedroom is, in this case, nice and functional. It's got, a real nice, looks like a king bed in it, and good storage. He's got a little storage area. I put my gear, and then he's got a very nice living room with a nice console, good size flat screen, and a little desk to work on. And then you see the sunroom. In these apartments, it's quite small. Some of them they're quite big. They're quite big. I was in one in, I think, Kiev that was pretty darn big. So, but again, in the winter, that makes a lot of sense. So that's what a typical apartment looks like. Airbnbs, great value, in my opinion. If you're traveling and you want to save money, you don't want to stay in a hotel, which is not remotely as comfortable, you can stay in one of these.